I'm Ms. Cynthia, and with today's book talk, I'm looking at The Campaign by Leila Sales, with illustrations by Kim Balakuit. This book's publication in September 2020 will be especially timely as we celebrate 100 years of women's right to vote in the United States. The story concerns 12-year-old Maddie Polansky, who is concerned that the unopposed candidate for mayor proposes to eliminate funding for the arts in her city's public schools. So Maddie persuades her babysitter, Janet, to enter the race for mayor. Maddie finds herself taking on the role of Janet's campaign manager, and she manages to mobilize other students at her school to join Janet's campaign as well. One of the things I liked about this book is that Janet made a mistake in her past, but she made up for it and she moved on. I think it provides an important reminder that each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done. Those words are attributed to Brian Stevenson, author of Just Mercy, a story of justice and redemption. Another thing I appreciate is that Maddie learns and grows in her relationships to other people. I'm thinking in particular about Maddie's relationship to 3 other girls in her school, and I will even show you a picture of those 3 girls. Maddie acknowledges to readers that these girls are not exactly identical, but Maddie has decided that these 3 girls want to be identical, or clones. So Maddie renames them as Holly, Molly, and Polly. And she calls them that, even to their faces, until they quite rightly point out to Maddie how disrespectful she is being. Maddie accepts the criticism, and she does better going forward. I want to give special mention to the artwork by Kim Balakuit. These black and white drawings lend a graphic novel element to what is otherwise a middle grade novel. Readers will want to pay attention to the drawings because they convey information that helps to advance the narrative. That said, and possibly because I was reading an advance copy, some of the illustrations had an unfinished quality. One possible concern is the depiction of a mayor as being able to affect funding and priorities in schools. As another Goodreads reviewer, Ms. Yingling, put it, there are some places where a mayor controls school funding, but decisions like these are usually made by school boards and superintendents. The author, Leila Sales, expressed in an afterword that government affects basically everything about how all of us lead our lives. She believes that everyone should understand the basics of how government works, and her story offers a good starting point as a primer in local elections, especially with its depiction of students becoming actively involved. But I do recommend when young people read this book that adults explain where details in this book might differ from their actual community. For example, where local schools get their funding and which elected offices will affect that funding and which elected offices will not. Appreciation to the publisher and to NetGalley, which gave me an advance digital copy of this book. I'm Ms. Cynthia, and this has been a book talk.